Continue straight on E6, NAIAX West.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We haven't done a vlog in a while, so I thought I would take you with me today because the day is going to be pretty interesting and a lot is happening. So right now I'm parked at Parqal. It's a new mall near Asiana City in like Pasay, the MOA area. And my sister-in-law is actually having the opening for her new daycare center, I think is what you would call it. It's Junior Starters at Parqal. Basically, they do like fun classes and arts and stuff like that for the kids. We're here to support her. We're going to have a really yummy lunch at East Ocean. Then I have some time to kill, maybe do some shopping. I'm not yet sure. Maybe hang out at a cafe or hang out with the kids. And then at the end of the day, later tonight, we are going to go see Hamilton. So yeah, busy day. And I thought it would be just fun to take you guys along for the ride. So this is what Parqal Mall looks like. It is a fairly new mall and it has like an open air concept. I think I get a better shot of that later, but you can see as I look up here, the roof is this translucent protective thing. There are a couple of cafes open and a couple of stores like Dylan is there. There's Mary Grace also, Levi's in the corner. Here I'm just running, sorry about the shaking, I'm just running to catch up with my sister. But we go up to the second floor to go to the Junior Starters, and here I got a better clip of the layout of the mall, I guess, for you. It is quite pretty and very breezy once you get up there. I actually really like it. And then we cross the bridge just a little bit to get to the other side of the mall. And while we're there, as you can see here, East Ocean is actually just one street away. Like you can literally cross the road and get to East Ocean, which is where we're going to have the yummy lunch later. And as soon as we get to the Junior Starters, of course you have the very Asian take off your shoes area. I chose to wear my adorable chicken socks today to dress for the occasion. And they actually had like a really gorgeous grazing table set up, and we didn't dig in right away because of course we had to wait for everyone else before we started. But before this place floods with people, I wanted to show you guys what the main area looks like. It's basically a giant play area, and these murals on the side are actually really cool. These were made by the teachers that are working here. And then they have a bunch of classrooms for the different levels of students, and they do a lot of classes here. I think they have regular like everyday classes for children who are enrolled to go in every day, and then they also have just like enrichment classes like cooking and art and stuff like that. And of course you have the very important clean bathrooms. They do have like good child-sized bathrooms, so you don't have to use the mall ones. And yeah, it was just a really good time. A lot of people came out to support. They did a blessing for the venue, and it was actually really funny because a lot of the kids were so excited by this play area that they basically couldn't keep still even as the blessing was going on. Obviously, they didn't mean anything by it. They're just kids, and it was really cute to see. And once the blessing was done, we did finally get to dig into the gorgeous grazing table. You can actually see here they also have this really cute wooden tree in the shoe changing area. And of course, I just wanted to give you guys a quick look at the outfit. And just like that, the morning was over and it was time for lunch. We went to East Ocean, like I mentioned, just across the street, and they had these gorgeous Christmas decorations up. We saw it right in the entrance right before we made our way upstairs to our room. If you guys are ever planning to eat here or try it out, I would recommend the Pipa Tofu. That one is usually a crowd pleaser. They also have really good Suckling Pig most of the time, and all their veggies and seafood are actually super fresh too. After lunch, we just made our way back to Junior Starters to enjoy the rest of the afternoon. And if you guys are interested, shameless plug, if you're interested in inquiring or asking about any of the classes, whether the regular enrollment or enrichment, I will put all of the info on the screen. Let my sister-in-law know that I sent you. Hello. So it's been a little while since our last check-in. It is now dark. It's about almost 6 o'clock. And basically after lunch, that was a very, very heavy lunch, and I basically went into sort of a food coma. Um, we went back to the Junior Starters Parqal, and the kids had some classes. I didn't vlog too much of that because obviously there's kids everywhere at the classes, and I don't want to get really any footage of kids because we don't want to expose them to the internet without their parents' consent. But it was a very fun, tiring day, lots of extroverting. And now it is time to head over to Solaire. I'm still actually pretty early for the show. The show's going to start at 8 p.m. I'm already so tired. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get in a nap or something before I go, but we are going to push through. Hamilton is supposed to be an amazing show. And I actually have never seen a play at Solaire before, so we'll see how it goes. So when we got to Solaire, some of us had dinner, and I wanted to show you guys this shot just because I'm sure you're thinking that looks like kare-kare, but apparently it was supposed to be pinakbet, which I thought was hilarious. And this brown chicken thing is supposed to be chicken inasal. So just be warned in case you head over to Solaire's food court. Here's a shot of my fiancé and I's matching phone cases, just because they're adorable. And just like that, it was time for the play in just a few more minutes. We headed upstairs and made our way through the theater lobby, got our souvenir playbooks, and made it inside. Okay, so I thought the day was over, but I guess it's not. You guys can't see right now. I put you in the dashboard, but there is such heavy traffic, and it is literally 11:55 p.m. I am crawling at, according to Waze, 6 kilometers per hour on the Skyway. Nothing says December like Manila traffic at Christmas time. But while I'm here, I figured I would tell you guys a little bit about, I guess, like my thoughts around watching Hamilton, which was the play that I went to see, in case I cut out any parts of the, like where I mentioned that in the final video. Specifically, I wanted to talk about I guess my thoughts on if you're going to go see the live production, whether or not you should watch the movie first, the one that's on Disney Plus that everyone keeps, recommending. Well, some people recommend to watch, and then some people don't recommend or say you don't need to watch it, because that was one of the confusing things that I ran into, I guess, when I was trying to prepare to come to this show, because I'm not exactly a frequent theater goer. Unless it's like part of some, kind of tour group activity when you're on vacation, like it's part of the package and stuff like that. Or like, when I was younger in school and having to watch plays and things like that. Unless it's in that kind of context where, it's kind of something that's just there. I mean, I enjoy them, but I'm not by any means a theater buff at all. But I did go with a bunch of theater buffs, and I don't know if, maybe it's the context I'm coming from, but for me, what seemed like the actual most fun about the whole evening was the social interaction aspect of it. Like, this group that I went with my fiance and his theater friends, and it was really the post-processing of the play or of the production. And so because I went with my fiance and a bunch of his theater friends who I guess could have an opinion really on whether or not on whether or not it was a good production or not, how these, actors and actresses compare to other people that they've seen either in other productions or in that movie. They've listened to the soundtrack before, and they had opinions, and there was this very kind of social interaction. That might be a oxymoron or redundant to say, but there's this very, nice social interaction after the production where people are just, discussing and bonding over that experience. And 200 meters. I would say, connecting that back to if you're going to go see it for the first time, should you or should you not watch the movie first? I would say unless you are somebody that is like super hardcore, you do not want to be spoiled, and you've never heard what the story of Alexander Hamilton is, and you don't know what's going to happen, and you want that kind of experience of being surprised with the whole, what do you call this? Being surprised with the plot of the story. I personally didn't find it difficult really at all to follow the storyline, because I know that was one of the arguments some people made for watching the movie ahead of watching the play. They were saying that you wouldn't be able to enjoy the play if you don't know kind of the story beforehand, because the play is confusing, because like some characters change, and like some characters are actually played by the same actor. Like one actor plays two different characters. But honestly, I would say it wasn't that confusing. I actually kept anticipating it, but I don't know, maybe just knowing that they will change is enough. But it only happens, like, the shift is very clearly between the first act and the second act. And in the second act, you kind of get this vibe in general anyway, that you're kind of in a different time period, that it's a different section of the story. So it wasn't personally that confusing for me. I don't think it's a reason to watch the whole movie before going to see the play. But, again, that said, unless you are someone who is just hardcore, like you don't know the story yet and you don't want it to be spoiled for you, in every other scenario, unless you're that person, I would say just go ahead and watch the movie. Unless you're lazy and you don't want to watch it, that's totally fine reason as well. But my number one thing is, if you're going with a bunch of people, I think there's more people who have seen the other productions of it, whether online or in person before. And unless you are all going into it blind and being able to bond over that experience, like, I personally felt like I missed out a little bit on the funnest part of watching the whole thing. And maybe that's just because I'm not a theater buff, but yeah, that's my 2 cents, my very long-winded 2 cents. Okay, so I am finally home now. It is super, super late, past 12 at this point, and I am ready to go to bed, basically. Just wash my face, get changed, and go to bed. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's vlog. I don't know how much usable footage I was able to get for you guys, but hopefully it was entertaining somewhat. As usual, thank you so much for watching, especially if you're making it to this point. I really appreciate your support. And if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. It would mean the world to me. And even if you don't decide to subscribe, hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.